Hello, everyone, and welcome to Season of Agents, a virtual event dedicated to exploring the dynamic world of intelligent agents, automation, and the future of AI powered productivity. Today, I'm joined by our expert speaker, Tarun Sir, who is a senior cloud architect at ABB. Now, inviting Tarun Sir on stage to take over the session, and yes, sir, the session is all yours now.
Yeah, thank you, Sudhanshu. And today I'm really excited to be on this, you know, uh, knowledge sharing session on the architecting the Microsoft Season of Agents, where I will be projecting my topic is architecting the smart AI solutions, and I will be walking you through some of the benefits of how we can architect the solution using AI, and then some slides over it, and then I will be projecting through some hands-on exercise which is based on this. What we call my friend said that there's a skill fest running on Microsoft AI Skill Fest, and as part of that, there is an exercise which I will just go through, like how you can build your application with GitHub Copilot agent mode. So, of course, this was completely new topic for me a week before, because this this hands-on on Copilot is something new for me as well. But I have been working on and off. I know this technology, and I've been working with the underlying platform since I think couple of years, which is Visual Studio Code. So I will give you a brief demo before I when I start the demo session. But to brief, what motivated me here is like this AI skill fest going on in Microsoft. So I thought of presenting this, and so you can just walk through all the your learnings which I have to present. So I will just share my screen. So I think this is already visible. Okay. So I think already I could see that it's shared. So yeah. So the topic today, which I'm going to project, is basically architecting the smart AI solutions, and essentially this topic is one of the demanding these days with the advent of AI Copilot, and then and the demo which I'm going to show is like Copilot agents on top of Copilot. We will see how using utilizing the power of Visual Studio Code, and then on top of extensions such as Microsoft Copilot. On top of it, we will see agent mode of it. I will walk you through the extensions and all the walk you that can help you equip with this, and you can start working on this. There is no background required, provided you need to have the knowledge of Visual Studio Code as and the extensions, and you need to have some GitHub account to start with to build your own solution. And trust me, like when I started this, it's get excited, moment by moment when you start building the application, because virtually, literally, almost with less efforts, you can develop your application with just the help of Copilot and the agents, Copilot agents. So this is now just walking you through some of the basic concepts of smart architecting smart AI solutions. Like today we will learn like why smart AI solution, why we uh, went with smart AI solutions. Because if you see, the data is exploding these days, and there comes some we are nowadays the users needs to be the application, you needs to worry about the data and the logic and the coding part. Rest should be taken care by the AI. So this all the coding in the sample exercise is being done by the Copilot using the agent mode, which I will show you shortly. Traditional automation was intelligent automation. It means like see, this is we have done automation using Python and Perl and Bash shell. So those were the traditional automations. Bash shell, like automating one particular kind of script, like automation to do some start of the service and stop of the service. If the service is stopped in production, it will just start with some mechanism. But here we will witness the intelligent automation, how you, with the help of agent, it is not only deploying the code, it is rectifying the errors, debugging on behalf of you, and what not it's doing. It's doing all of these things. And we will see how we have, this is the time we need to explore more on the co-pilot agents and rise of the agent, the reasoning context, and the tools which we'll be using. Reasoning, like, here developers can focus more on the logic. Once you have the, it's, if I have to, because I did one hands-on exercise here, it's kind of, you just have to list down the steps, you and then leave it to the co-pilot. It will do all those things. But before that, just you need to make sure you have the required tools and extensions installed. And if it is not in, or even if you don't have, Python, for example, you don't have the relevant versions of your front end code installed, like Django or React, it will install on behalf of, all things will be done by Copilot agent. And this is, we will see the rise of agents, context, and the tools which will be are using. Key pillars of smart AI architecture. Now, this is where cognition means understanding the intent behind this architecture, reasoning, decision making logic. You will see how the decision has been making, and step by step procedure, how Copilot act as on it, and how agents contribute in that reasoning. And action, like using tools and APIs. We will witness today the APIs, the handling of the APIs, the calling of the APIs, how it's been handled. And then learning, continuous improvement, like it's a kind of continuous improvement. We'll learn all these things. So action, reasoning, cognition, these are the key pillars of the smart AI, whatever you'll learn today. This is as I said, that without when we start on this, uh, uh, there is like reasoning, and there is action, and then learning, and then cognition. It means we learn based on our actions, and then after learning we do perform some, the dotted line represents, like, after we implement our learning to some to thinking, cognition, thinking on those lines, then some applying some logic, and then we apply some action. Those, this is where the core pillars of the designing the AI solutions are, like, four. These are four pillars. Like, from chatbots, we have evolved ourselves from the world of chatbots to autonomous agents. Like basic bots, we see the bots even in the cloud environment as well. And starting from, small chatbots to the LLM co-pilots and then agents. So we started with bots, and then we evolved ourselves into LLM models, and which are used to train these bots. And then once we have trained these bots, it so agents is basically today the what I'm going to show is, it's a combination of the basic bots. It's a obviously it's a robot which will do the task on behalf of you, but also it's learning the models, also how to deploy the series of steps which will give to these bots. They will, how they will deploy, and with the help of agents. So we have evolved from chatbots to autonomous agents. So this is what the evolution is now, right now. And in agents, we have goals, memory, tools, and reasoning. So we started. We have, agents. You must have, when you heard about this term agents, you might have you might be curious to know what is in the back end. There must be some memory utilization tools and reasoning. So these autonomous agents are having both all these things: goals, memory, tools, and reasoning. So LLM co-pilots are designed for that. So the basic chatbots, LLM co-pilots, and then autonomous agents. So essentially, this is the evolution which we have been witnessing for quite some time now. So, today, GitHub Copilot Agent Mode is a kind of reference which I'm just giving in this particular context of which I'm going to walk through. So, goal-based reasoning plus the tool use. Real world, like CodeGen or issue trials, we will just see how, using this GitHub Copilot Agent Mode, we tries the issues. And of course, so there are number of integrations. One is Visual Studio Code, which I've used in my demo. But there is also one more tool, which is, either you can use Visual Studio Code, or you can use GitHub. There is an environment called the virtual environment, that is CodeSpace. GitHub CodeSpace. I've used CodeSpace for most of the things, but I will walk you through the Visual Studio Code and the extensions which we need to install to get started with the GitHub Copilot agent mode, which is called autonomous rise of the autonomous agents. So it increase it actually involves LLM plugins and IDE support. Here IDE which I'm using is essentially for this demo, Visual Studio I'm using the virtual environment which is called as the code space, but essentially to do a better hands-on, you can utilize Visual Studio Code. And then this some plugins are required. IDE support like Python, Django, React framework. So this ID is required, and some plugins extensions in the Visual Studio Code and LLM models are required. But essentially, you will not see those LLM models being defined anywhere. But it's a part of agents are taking care of this, as I showed in the previous slides. Agents are taking care of this basic bots and LLM copilots. So evolving from we started from chatbots and LM copilots, then we have gone to the agent. So agent will do all the deployments on behalf of you. Uh, so it has that thinking automation, inheritance from basic bots. It has that learning cognitive availability, learning ability, and patterns matching from the LLM models. And then co-pilots are also involved to just automate these and with the help of agents. So agents now we have coming to this closure. This is having all the combinations, plugins and ID support. ID basically we are be using will using I think which I already mentioned. You can use free to use any ID integral development environment, but I'm will be using the virtual one which is CodeSpace. But you can go through the Visual Studio Code as well for this demo. And this is kind of very high level architecture, how it looks like the agent layer, where I just want to explain where the agent layer stands today. UI UX LLM layer. In UI UX we see chat UI, API dashboard, and then we go to the LLM layer, OpenAI, Cloudy, and these are all the models. Agent layer, like we will see Crew AI, LangChain, React, and then different kinds of Copilot modes are there. We will talk about deployment using agent layer today in this in this AI system. Then we have tooling layers, plugins, APIs, and file system are part of that. And then there's a memory layer which take care of the memory and memory leaks of the system, backend system, database, and business logic. While performing this demo, I just make sure that you have the right configuration in the system just to able to handle this debugging and backend memory issues, so that you don't go to those kind of slowness when you run this application. Or even if you deploy it on the virtual side, you make sure not much of the tabs are open. The less memory consumption are there, or at least efficient memory in your PC, because these are very memory intensive workloads which sometimes require some like spike in the memory of the browser when you go through the virtual code space environment. And Visual Studio Code, if you're doing, of course, at least I would recommend 8 GB of RAM which you are using a system if you performing any POC or proof of concept. This is where your minimum requirement is there. And this is the overall system. We will see, like in the backend system, we have used the basically the MongoDB and some business logic as well. So we will see on those how we have evolved from the business logic and the backend systems. Um, we just want to take a pause if any questions. If no, then I would like to proceed. Okay. Um, okay. So it seems we are good with it. So, like designing with GitHub Copilot agent mode, like task planning from goals, API tool calling, ID interaction example, like fixing the repo bugs, This is where the GitHub Copilot and agent mode are. If you want to utilize this core, utilize this, if you harness this feature of this, it offers essentially offers the task planning from goals, API, ID interaction, fixing repo bugs. This is what it is does. And then see deployment you can do on the cloud platform as well for this, but me, for this demo purpose, I have just used individual instance, which is standalone, deployment, which in the virtual code space environment, which I was just trying to do, and log and trace observabilities and feedback loops for the tuning of this deployment and monitoring. Security ethics like RBAC controls, guardrails against the helicase, and then audit and data compliance. So all things can be implemented, but this is like, since I'm doing from my GitHub account, so I think and authenticated with the MFA, it's totally secured. But once you go ahead and deploy in the cloud environment, cloud service, then you need to take care of this RBAC controls, guardrails against the numerous virus attacks and all. Then usually audits and data compliance, this is what you need to deal with. Now building your own copilot framework and tools like this, essentially not the ones which I've been using in this demo, but semantic kernel, QAI, langchain, and copilot SDKs of course are required. These are used in my demo session as well. And then function calling APIs, memory graph via langgraph and chroma. So APIs and Copilot SDK is something which I'm using in this Copilot agent demo, and then we will see how we go through that. And then this future of smart AI agent, multi-agent ecosystems, agents managing the agents, and then personal copilots at scale. So this is where the future of smart AI agents are actually currently. This is one, and then I just to go through. This is the motivation which from which I have taken the demo is GitHub build. The exercise name is build application with GitHub Copilot agent mode, and this is this part of the AI skill set. And then this is the agenda. We will see. Just walk you through the basics, right? These three four, because this is will stand essentially the purpose before I jump into the hands-on. The agenda for this particular exercise is we will go to the GitHub Copilot agent mode, learn objectives users will achieve in this code, like, and then exploring the power of GitHub Copilot agent mode. Skill background, like we will design some Octafit tracker application, like it's just like a fit band or noise band, which will track your movements, how exercise, like the movements of the well, how much you are exercising in a day, tracker application. And let's deep and then we will just deep dive into this skill. So this application would be essentially calling as the Octofit tracker application, which we will just trying to build it. So like introduction to the GitHub Copilot agent mode, it's the next evolution of AI assisted development. An autonomous peer programmer analyze your code base to gather full context. Agent mode iterates its own code. So this is essentially this really helps actually agent mode. With this, understand how to develop the Visual Studio ID in a GitHub code space. Uh, Essentially, you will see that it's a kind of Visual Studio browser. Visual Studio says Visual Studio. If either you can use through the Visual Studio Code tool, which is essentially this one, or the other is like we you can utilize the Visual Studio browser. Also, there is an option Visual Studio browser code. So we'll learn how to develop VS Code ID in the GitHub code space. Prompt GitHub Copilot agent mode to create an application. You will see, how it will create the application, like how it will resolve the dependencies, and how it will just go ahead and create this. And the follow the steps. At least if you follow the steps, then you can go ahead and create the application. There are lots of troubleshooting and debuggings and setting of the environment parameters are required, which essentially I would my learning experience is quite different. Like of course, Copilot will take care of all these things, but at least if the basics are right, you have already worked with these platforms offline, it will really help you a lot to correct it, because sometimes Even co-parent agent mode is behaving in a very, sometimes it's due to reiterations, it might run not run or provide the good suggestions. So you need to have some hands-on these technologies, essentially like the front end and the back end. We will be using Django, React, and MongoDB. Essentially, these two tools are there for different back end, front end, and the database purpose. But you need to have some knowledge on citing the environment variables before you jump into the GitHub Copilot agent mode, because this is essentially it's just like commanding some few steps to do, and the GitHub will generate the commands for you. Copilot agent mode basically, and then it will just out of your commands it will generate the some commands in the command line which you need to enter. Before that, I think some hands-on on the traditional deployments are needed. This is my belief after this this some small hands-on. Leverage documentation files to install GitHub Copilot agent mode, and then GitHub Copilot agent mode iterates over a code base to fix errors, refactor code, and develop new feature. So this is I've done lots of thing refactoring and fixing of errors as part of this demo, but not essentially developing new features. But yes, this is what because see, depending on use case to use case. In the use case which I have picked, it will just fix the errors and refactor, reiterated the run the agent again. So, exploring the power GitHub Copilot agent mode, like it's an autonomous operation, I explained earlier, multi-step task for tools for task completion, then code changes, terminal commands, and iteration and self-healing of this particular agents, user control and review, context management, undo and redo, interrupt requests and limitations. So, these are some of the some of the power of the GitHub Copilot agent. Skill background, now just I'm going through after this. This is just this is just to build the application. Maybe you can just check on this, but this is the skill background for the applications which we are going to see today. Octofit tracker application. So setting is like this is American High School. I will walk you through the line story as well, so you can understand what he is trying to do. So that application is something which you can ever just help you build the environment, but it is something you can also perform once you have the GitHub link. So middle high school characters Paul and Jessica. So Paul is basically an instructor who is concerned about his school students not getting time after school to do some physical activities, and so he synced with Jessica, and Jessica had some use case from previous experiences. She helped him to develop a application tracker application with the help of some colleagues, his colleagues, and then Paul gets into it, and then this is the whole story of this application. But the challenge is like student rarely access outside the required PE classes needed for fun and engaging way to track the fitness activities. Solution is like the Octofit tracker app. So like social fitness tracking application built with the GitHub Copilot and agent mode, leveraging another high school application repository. As I said, Jessica helped Paul to leverage another school repository application management. And then we have key features of user profiles and activity logging, team competition leaderboard. Then we have personalized workout suggestions, progressing tracking dashboard, and then your task is like we need to build this application. So follows Paul's journey, whatever Paul is saying, using GitHub code spaces. Learn to leverage GitHub Copilot agent mode. Code spaces we will see, and then Copilot agent mode, how it is used, and then we will learn build a similar application with the help of GitHub Copilot agent mode. This is the skill background of this Octofit tracker. Now, when I have to go through enable editing, this is the application to show the application in the it is raw format. Let me try to. So this is the original repository, again developed by which is the author is Harry Leviney, senior cloud solution architect at Learning Evangelist. So he is. Like this is the clone which I have taken from this particular. This is the continuous copilot, and there are different exercises and exercises to design that modern legacy COBOL, and you can use a Django framework, and then different applications are there to modernizing. But what I have been using for this particular thing is there's a rock paper scissor copilot as well, which kids usually play. And then but this is like build application with copilot agent mode. So this is where application developed by is kind of a repository, and this is the exercise. I will already cloned it. I will just show you the this. I think I can just give for you for some kind of familiarity. So sorry is to just this is the this is the just takeaway. Just this is just to give the repository no reference. This is you can use for the cloning part, and I have already cloned it. I've just go through this. Right, make sure you clone it, fork it, and then it should reflect as your your this profile. My profile is this one. I've already cloned it, and this is where I have in my repositories. This is where I have cloned it, public repository, and the exercise name is build application with GitHub Copilot agent mode. So this you see contributors are a GitHub bot will review your progress, and this is me. So then like build an application. So like people love how Copilot writes the code faster. Who is this for intimate developers familiar with GitHub Copilot, basic GitHub, and basic web development? And what you will learn, we will introduce GitHub Copilot agent mode and how to use it in the application development. What you will build, you will use GitHub Copilot agent mode to create a fitness application as a gym teacher of the high school. This course takes less than an hour to complete. Essentially, and this exercise, some of the expectation is like start up a pre-configured development environment for making full stack application. Pre-configured development environment is already there, but you need to make it to a full stack application. Prompt in GitHub Copilot chat and select the edit tab, and you need to select the agent mode. Try creating the application with GPT-4.0. Try another LM models to see their output. So, how to start the exercise? Like copy exercise, I've already copied it, and for owners, choose a personal account. I have already cloned it using this. This is my repository, and this is the exercise essentially. So I've just copied it, and after put it like I've already done, so I will just start the exercise. So when I click on start the exercise, you don't have to come here actually. It will go to right click. You need to click the right click tab, and then you are here. Then you need to start this working on this. So hello GitHub agent mode. Now this is like you need to start this with open in GitHub code spaces. This will essentially open a good GitHub code spaces. This one resume this code space. So this is it will ask. So this should reflect your user ID should reflect here. It should not be like it should be like this. It should not be like this. Don't commit anything in this particular. This is the origin to original one. So developed by this author. So this is like you need to resume the code space, and because I'm already in the code space, that's why it's saying that. So so this is like it says that it will automatically keep a track of this and watch the progress in the background, providing the feedback. So see, this is like once you open the GitHub code spaces, this is how the environment will look like. Um, and then you need to switch to the once you are here, Visual Studio to load. Wait a moment to either use the code space like this, Visual Studio code space. I think there is some issues. It's asking me to restart the code space. It's okay. I will restart the code space because it's been some time I have not used this one. Let me restart the code space. Let me close all the files so that it won't get confused on. Yes, so in this particular thing, you will see in the docs, there is Mona High School track, and this you need to read, uh, with this is the story like Octopus story. What it takes. Paul Octo was has been a physical educator, education teacher at the migrant school over 8 years. Despite his enthusiasm, creative approach, him he's increasingly concerned about students' physical activity declining once they leave the school grounds. Many students admit they rely on exercise outside the PE schools after attending a professionalism development conference on the technology integration in the physical education. Paul became inspired to create a solution. He wanted something that would make a fitness tracking fun and engaging, create positive peer pressure through friendly competition, allow him to monitor student progress remotely, and then provide personal guidance based on the individual fitness level. So this is essentially basically the gist of it. You can just go through it, and technical specification is like mobile responsive web application accessible on school Chromebooks and personal device, secure authentication based on manual implementation, and activity verification system to prevent cheating. And then current development status like Paul and Jessica have set up a GitHub Codespace environment and are making remarkable progress with GitHub Copilot agent mode by adapting to this tracker structure. The Octopus tracker prototype already includes a functional utilization system, basic activities logging for running, walking, and strength designing. The beginning of the framework for team competition, a simple dashboard showing student progress. So next step for Paul are with the basic infrastructure in place. Paul is now focused on developing an engaging point system, creating motivation challenges, building a notification system, designing reports that help him identify students who might need additional support or motivation. So this is like the overall workshop. Just go through user profile activity and all these things, and they are the current models which support a GitHub GitHub Copilot Chat, Cloudy Sonnet 3.7, Gemini 2.0, GPT 40, and 4.0.01 preview. And this one we are using. Uh, so basically, if you see here, I need to once you switch to the insider version, let me show you how to do the insider version. So switch to stable version. Here only it will come switch to insider version. So this is like when you go to changing the version require reload to take effect, press the button. So it will take to the previous version stable version. But this is I have taken to the this I have just switched the mode, and then after that at the top of the Visual Studio locate and find the low Copilot icon to like this is what you need to do. Needs to be a Copilot icon where you need to add an open chat. Once you do a open chat, then you start chatting, and this will help you develop the application. I will tell you how to follow this. First, first of all, it will be ask actually. From ask, you need to change to the agent mode, and from the models, these are the all the models supported. You need to select GPT 40 LLM model. LLM model. You need to select this one, and then you can start working on this. Just go through this and start following this MD document, and uh, it will create the application. Like um, to start with, I just said to like I just followed this, and I asked the GitHub Copilot. I'll just show you like how to. It will just follow. Keep on following this one. Just ask the Hey Copilot, how can I create and publish a new Git branch called Git? So this is the branch. It will essentially be used to create the application. So let me copy this and paste. Let me do a Git app too because the app is already there. How can I create? So I will just show you how it will will generate the steps and how you can use the Copilot creation. See, to create and publish a GitHub Copilot create it will create the branch locally, switch to the branch and all, and push that to the remote repository. Would you like me to execute? Let me say yes. It will. When I say yes, it will create it and then on your behalf. So to see the how we command we are putting in, it's through the LLM, it's learning the things and it's executing the stuff. So this is the beauty of the Copilot agent. So once you do it will generate all these things, and when you continue, it will just create, and you will see one more branch created here, and it will automatically switch to the app to branch. You will see the difference. So git status. Okay, I think this is related to some the previous settings, but git branch app to checkout packet, add the entire the staging area. So let me do that one. I just wanted to create it. There are some untrack changes, so I just committing those changes. That's it. So this is the code space, and it's still working to execute the. While this is uh, there must be some. Let me check the git status in there too. So this he it is investigating the issue and git status. It's checking the issue, but this is like you can as simple as that. You can start creating this your application through scratch. For this my example, I think I need to clean this and just again create it, but you can start once you have done this. It will now after a moment you will see that this branch is created, and now that your branch is pushed to github, like Mona should already be busy checking your work. So Mona is nothing but the this particular agent which is there. That I will show you, right? I will just showing you. This is the agent, GitHub Action Agent bot, which is checking my progress. So it's asking to resolve the push the command. So the current branch made is ahead of remote branch by one commit, and the working tree is clean. This indicates that changes have not been pushed to the remote repository. To resolve this, push the current branch to the remote repository. After pushing create and space to the new branch of it will let me execute, I will say yes, then it will do that one. So if you see, it's executing the stuff also on my behalf, not only suggesting the code, it is executing as well. So this is the beauty of the agents, and agents are using underlying the LLM models to see. This is what git push and git branch and then git checkout, and this is all it's doing at one go. It says already exist, but yeah, we will be able to switch now. Just working, even if it's failed, then we will just check into it. So see, app 2 is still already there. So um, uh, so this is where commands will be there and it will be executed for sure. But now see, I was there in this. I almost created this one. I have already initialized. So once we have created this, all things are set up using this exercise. Once you have done till this step, uh, you are good. Now come here in the GitHub code spaces, and what you can do is after coming to the GitHub code spaces, just follow this tracker md document, um, and start copying this text, all this in this till here. Just copy this in this context, it will start creating the application. And this folder structure should be like this. If you see, my folder structure is intact. A Mona tracker, Mona fit tracker, and then backend we have different environments, inet models, serialization settings, URLs. It should be in the same structure it should follow. These are the kind of the backends. Front end is like it should the world structure should look like this. Node modules, public, source, get, ignore, and readme file is also there. So and then there is a requirement.txt file created with the following. We'll just open it. It should contain just to make a comparison out of it, and it will the model should look like the same, starting from the Django 4.1 for Django, and then MongoDB, PyMango, same kind of web sockets. It should be there. So we've installed that already. It's been done. I was actually building this application, but then see, once you will do this thing right, it will execute these commands in the command prompt. I will show you how it is done. And then initialize the database, set up database, install application in the settings, py, serialization, and then this is the different kind of steps which will be executed. Uh, and this is these commands will be executed here. You just need to enter the text here, in the text on the right hand side, and that will then do the things for you. Now which I was stuck with the populating the database, after the creation of the database. I am actually stuck in this, uh, after settings. There is another particular thing like password validation. This is where models.py, you need to compare that your models.py should look like this after you have built the application, so that you can do a open side to side comparison. Models.py should look like this after this. If not, then there's something extra. If you see time delta is the required adding addition thing which GitHub Copilot and agent mode has done for me just to resolve some modules. But these things, team activity, leadership board, leadership board and workout should look the same. So just compare it. Your after this all serialization one by one file is showing the comparison should look like this. I've already built it mostly views. I was just near this URLs and population the database, the sample database. So let me do this just to show you, because I was stuck in this application, this particular step. So it's checking and making sure its requirements are met properly. Script already restarts and deletes previous data, recreates and it aligns with the requirement, including the creating superhero users. Next step, migration. So next step is migration. Uh, Creating users is fine. Leadership goes now. Next step is to migrate the database and populate with the with the data. See Python, make migrations, migrate whatever is the command showing on the left hand side is showing on the right hand side. This is what it will execute in the this terminal, Copilot terminal, and this will run populate DB. This is where I'm stuck at, but I think I will be able to get rid of it soon, but not as of now. I'm not, you know well, I said, would you like to execute these commands for you? I would say yes, and it's working behind the scene, and it will just try to migrate and see what are the issues which I have. So it is Python. It will run the manage.py, manage.py migrate and manage.py populate db. Run migration and populate database using populate db command. Let me continue. See, it's running here and so working out here. So it's all commands are you can see here running in the terminal. So the error indicates that the Django is not available in the current environment. This could be because of the virtual environment is not activated. Let me activate the virtual environment and reattempt the commands. Then it's time to reattempt the commands after activating the virtual environment. This is our virtual environment. Somewhere it's mentioned venv. Uh, it's a virtual environment basically, venv. So it's kind of virtual terminal, virtual environment which we see. um, we just manage or pay popular db and migrate and all these things will run. So till the time this runs, just wanted to show you this particular thing. See, I have installed like the GitHub is required, Git Bash is required for this, and Visual Studio Code. A couple of extensions you need to install, which is called GitHub Copilot. If you are doing through this Visual Studio Code, restart extensions. So this is where Copilot chat. So I just restart the extensions. So this is other thing. GitHub all of essentially is there, and then once you install GitHub Copilot, what to Copilot chat will also be installed. This is the chat and it's taking my repository, and here you just need to select the context. Once you have the repository here, same thing. Whatever is there, Python interpreted. So just few of the extensions which I just want to tell, and just make sure that you are signed into your GitHub account. So it says that error indicated MongoDB service is not running, which is causing the database connection to fix. Start the MongoDB. So MongoDB is the backend. MongoDB servers restart reattempt. So let me do a reattempt. So I think essentially you at least got the context how to start with, and then uh, we can you can connect with me if when .c while even I'll just try to complete this with resolving all the errors and sudo in terminal. Uh, Let me try to do this thing. So MongoDB service not running. So service, if the service the DB is not running, then the migration won't happen. So this is where I'm currently stuck at. But I think I would be able to get into this. Once this is completed, then we need to do this. Use the code space endpoint to access the Django REST APIs. This is what I need to copy and paste. So it says, um, okay, the error indicates. Just hold on. Okay, so it's started. It's done. Let me ask this question. Is the migration of database done and data is populated? Let me ask this question. Now, this question is out of context. I've just run. Let me see. It's reading all the commands. So it says that manage.py is not being uh, its email is not been recognized in the specified path. Let me verify the file location and correct the commands. Search for the files matching managed. Actually, this manage.py should be there in the root directory in the backend, but somehow it went here in the backend for me. So this should be upwards, not in the front end. It should be in the backend manage.py. So it's searching for the file star star managed one match. So run making to prepare database. Let me continue. Now it will take this file. One match run command migrate. I'm not sure run popular DB. I think let me try to do this thing. I think it should run now. We'll see. That is, migration commands ran successfully, but the populate the DB command failed due to duplicate error key violation. This occurs when the ID are being set to none, which violates the uniqueness. I will fix ensure ID value are generated for all the so let me do. This is what I was saying. Iterate. It will iterate in between this copilot. You need to like train in this way. See, this is populating now. It will recreate this file and delete the duplicate index, and then it will start working on populating or the DB. It's installing the missing. The Django is the missing dependency which is trying to install here. Again, there's two problems found. Error indicates that basin and is still not being resolved. This might be due to a virtual environment not being activated. It says virtual environment. This is V in V. V in V means a virtual environment. Let me activate virtual environment. Retry. So this is like I'm just trying to run the Python. Which Python? Correctly pointing to the virtual environment. Okay. However, the imports are still unresolved. This might be due to the misconfiguration of workspace or the environment. Let us me explicitly reinstall Basin into Django. So this is like it will keep on reiterating this until this is fixed. I've been trying to do this before this demo as well, but unfortunately there is no success. But the idea is you got the context of how this works. They're still trying to install some dependency, force reinstall. But now there is a conflict with the but now the conflict with the Django which requires SQL pass. Uh, I recommend downgrading Django to a version compatible to Django. So let me proceed with the adjustment. So see, lots of dependency are still getting kind of resolved and unresolved. So this is where issue happens. So even Copilot is learning the dependencies continue to reiterate. It often pause between, so you need to reiterate this error persist in Django. So it's reinstalling all the dependency in the requirement.txt. It has all the dependencies requirement.txt. It's trying to do. So it install. Let me recheck the errors in the popular DB to confirm the issue are resolved. Check the popular DB. Check what to the error persists for Django. I'm not supposed to verify Python environment being used for Django, ensure it matches the virtual environment. Check the Django version to ensure the correct Python environment is being used. I will just give a last try and see if this happen. Is currently reported as uh, matches the version installed version. However, the unresolved dependency for base management process still have two problems found. Manually manually verify environment setup. So 3.8 Basin 5, these are libraries, the Django version, Python, the 3.2 pip install requirement.txt. Check if the Django is currently installed and accessible. 4.1. Test important models, open a Python shell and test importing the problematic models. So Python. Okay, now I will just try to do this just hold on, just try to copy it from the Django core dot. So I think there is some issue with my model Django. It says installed, but still it's not able to find. So I think in the interest of the time, I think you got the gist how to build this application. While I try to fix this error, and if I If I happen to find it, then I will just uh, upload how to do this again. But yes, I think that's the idea behind it, and I hope you understood the context of it. Yeah, Sudhanshu, I think I'm done for now.
Okay, thanks, Tarun sir, for this
Yeah,
insightful session.
yeah, thank
And
you.
thanks to all the attendees and viewers who joined us for this exciting season of Agents session. It's your time to discover, build, and shape the future together. Thank you, everyone, for joining. Thank you, sir, for your
Thank
session.
you. Bye bye.